Welcome to CRJ 134. This week we're exploring Chapter 11, which looks at the link between drug use and delinquency. And so the chapter begins with an overview of frequently abused drugs, such as alcohol, marijuana, and methamphetamine, just to name a few. The second major focus of the chapter is discussing trends in teenage drug use. And so they use information from studies such as the Monitoring the Future survey, as well as the Office of National Drug Control Policy, which can help provide valuable information on juveniles and drug use. Now, perhaps the biggest question related to drug use and delinquency is this: why do youth take drugs? Do you believe that drug use by young minority group members is tied to factors such as racial prejudice, low self-esteem, poor socioeconomic status, and the stress of living in a harsh urban environment? If you don't believe that, why not? What are some problems do you see with that explanation? And how might you explain drug use among middle-class kids? Now make sure you take a look at Concept Summary 11.1 and then think about which of those key reasons they mention there that you see as offering the strongest explanation for drug use. Keep in mind that it often is not just one single explanation, but usually a combination of those. Now, as I mentioned, there's really no single path to becoming a drug user, but it's generally believed that most users start at a young age using alcohol kind of as a gateway drug to harder substances. Now, based on your own life experiences, or think about people that you know, do you agree that alcohol is a gateway drug? Many adolescents who use and distribute small amounts of drugs don't commit any other serious delinquent acts. However, a small number of adolescents are high-rate or high-volume dealers who bridge the gap between the adult drug distributors and the adolescent user. So after you read the focus on delinquency in the chapter, do you believe that dealing drugs does pay? Because we often say it does not pay. Do you think that it pays? Why or why not? Now, there is an association between drug use and delinquency that's been established, and that connection can take really a number of forms. It may be an instrument of the drug trade. Let's take, for example, New York City, where authorities report that crack gangs will burn down rival gangs' headquarters. Now, drug users may also commit crimes to pay for their habits. So this week, I want you to watch the news, pay attention to it, see if you find crimes related to drug use. Also, watch an hour of TV, see how drug abuse or substance abuse is portrayed on your favorite TV program. Now, Concept Summary 11.2 looks at some different drug control strategies. After looking at that, think about this. Which of those strategies do you feel is most effective? Or are any of them really effective at all? Is it even possible to prevent drugs from entering the country? And does informing kids, educating kids about the dangers of drug abuse really work? Do you think that drug treatment is even effective for most drug abusers? These are all important questions that have to be answered and things that you need to think about. So the chapter closes with a brief discussion of the legalization of drugs, which can be a controversial topic, although we've already seen some states have legalized marijuana. So I guess the question is, what do you think? Should drugs be legalized? Why or why not? What are some of the potential negative aspects or downside to it compared with the upside? Now, next week we'll take a look at Chapter 12, which is going to take a look at overall prevention of delinquency.